She's going to announce that she won. Can you imagine that? She announced she wins. She comes out and announces that she won. January 7th.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
I wonder why you lost.
Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So let me say, and I love you back. And I love you back. So let me say, my heart is full today.
She drunk.
My heart is full today, full of gratitude.
Heart is full, glass is empty.
You have placed in me, full of love for our country, and full of resolve. The outcome of this election is not what we wanted,
Yeah.
not what we fought for, not what we voted for, but hear me when I say, the light of America's promise
Is out.
will always burn bright. As long as we never give up, and as long as we keep fighting.
That's why she's going to announce she didn't win. You didn't lose. She actually won the election.
To my beloved Doug and our family, I love you so very much. To President Biden and Dr. Biden, thank you for your faith and support. To Governor Walz and the Walz family, I know your service to our nation will continue. And to my extraordinary team, to the volunteers who gave so much of themselves, to the poll workers and the local election officials.
You mean they're not even going to storm the Capitol?
I thank you all. Look, I am so proud of the race we ran.
Come on.
And the way we ran it. Over the 107 days of this campaign, we have been intentional about building community and building coalitions, bringing people together from every walk of life and background, united by love of country with enthusiasm and joy in our fight for America's future.
Uh-huh.
And we did it with the knowledge that we all have so much more in common than what separates us. Now, I know folks are feeling and experiencing a range of emotions right now. I get it.
I saw that on TikTok.
But we must accept the results of this election. Earlier today, I spoke with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory. I also told him that we will help him and his team with their transition, and that we will engage in a peaceful transfer of power. A fundamental principle of American democracy is that when we lose an election, we accept the results. That principle, as much as any other, distinguishes democracy from monarchy or tyranny. And anyone who seeks the public trust must honor it. At the same time, in our nation, we owe loyalty not to a president or a party, but to the Constitution of the United States.
Uh-huh.
And loyalty to our our conscience and to our God. My allegiance to all three is why I am here to say, while I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign.
January 7th.
The fight for freedom, for opportunity, for fairness, and the dignity of all people. A fight for the ideals at the heart of our nation, the ideals that reflect America at our best. That is a fight I will never give up. I will never give up the fight for a future where Americans can pursue their dreams, ambitions, and aspirations.
Great.
Where the women of America have the freedom to make decisions about their own body and not have their government telling them what to do.
Well, that didn't happen.
We will never give up the fight to protect our schools and our streets from gun violence.
That was never a thing.
And America, we will never give up the fight for our democracy, for the rule of law, for equal justice, and for the sacred
I'm
idea
gonna turn down the studio mics.
that
You can hear them.
every one of us, no matter
They can't even get the audio right.
or where we start out, has certain fundamental rights and freedoms that must be respected.
No one's even paying
and
attention to what
upheld.
she's saying.
And we will continue to wage this fight in the voting booth, in the courts, and in the public square. And we will also wage it in quieter ways, in how we live our lives, by treating one another with kindness and respect.
Uncle
By
Jim, how's
looking
it going? When you
in the
Trump going,
face
you
of a
literally-
stranger and seeing a neighbor,
you
by
doing your best.
always using our
I'm
strength
sorry that happened to you. Is
to
that a good thing or a
lift
bad
people
thing?
up,
How do you feel about
to
Trump
fight
being president?
for the dignity that all people deserve. The fight for our freedom will take hard work, but like I always say, we
We're going to be
like
more
hard
free
work.
now with Trump. I'm
Hard
speaking
work
as
is good work.
I live.
Hard work can be joyful work.
No.
And the fight for our country is always worth it. It is always worth it. To the young people who are watching,
It's over.
it is.
It's over.
I love
Yep, it's over.
Arby's was an
you.
awful
To the young
decision.
people,
What
Welcome
happened
to
with
the
Arby's?
rest of your
it is
life.
okay to feel sad and disappointed, but please know it's going to be okay.
Uh-huh.
On the campaign, I would often say, when we fight, we win.
But
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
here's the thing. What's the thing?
Sometimes the
Excuse me.
fight takes a while.
I live in Canada, so I didn't vote.
That doesn't mean we won't win.
On January 7th.
We won't
Hannah
On
Caveman, how you doing?
January 7th.
The important thing is don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Don't ever stop trying
Uh-huh.
to make the world a better place. You have power. You have power. And don't you ever listen when anyone tells you something is impossible because it has never been done before.
You're doing good because you got saved today.
Yeah.
You didn't vote?
You have the capacity to do
I wanted Trump to win
extraordinary
because I
good
think that
in the world.
Canada needs Trump,
And so to everyone
and so
who's
does like
watching,
I just feel like
do not despair. This is not a time to
Trump is
throw
not
up
on
our
that
hands.
globalist
This is a time
stuff,
to roll up our sleeves.
and I feel like Kamala's very
This
fake.
is a
Like she's so
time
fake,
to
pandering.
organize, to
What happens on
mobilize,
They're
January
just, you know, they
7th?
want to go to
Stay
war. I'm not
She
down.
becomes the president.
for the sake of freedom and justice and the
W.
future that we all know we can build together.
Yeah.
I started speaking
But many
out.
of you know,
Like I started talking
out as a
about
prosecutor, and
it
throughout my
more.
career, I
Even
saw
though I'm
people
Canadian,
at some of the worst times in their lives.
I don't know.
People
I just
who
felt
had
like I had
suffered
to talk
great
about it.
harm and great pain.
And
And
I'm
yet
surprised at how many of my
found
friends like
in
blocked me or
themselves
decided not to be my friend anymore.
the strength
Not my personal
and
friends,
the
but like
courage
mostly online
and
people.
the
Mostly
resolve
people
Yeah.
to take
from
the
Twitch,
stand,
actually.
to take a stand,
And maybe some
to
IRL
fight
people, but I'm
for
not sure. I'm too afraid to
justice,
check.
fight for themselves, to fight for
But like
others.
that's like another
To
level of
let
brainwashing
their
if you have to
courage
like block your
be
own friends
our
over
inspiration.
you
Let
know what
their
the media's telling you.
determination
Yeah.
be our charge.
Okay.
And I'll close with this.
Yeah.
There's an adage an historian once called a law of history, true of every society across the ages. The adage is,
Am I saying we should annex
only
Alberta?
when it is dark enough
No.
can you see the stars.
I currently have no opinions about Alberta.
I know many
But I wanna
people
get-
feel like we are
I want to
entering a
get
dark
educated
time.
now on Canadian politics because
But for the benefit of us
Canada's
all,
next.
I hope
Okay,
that is
so
not
we started
the
with
case.
Trump.
But
Canada's
here's
next.
the thing, America, if it is,
It
let
is.
us fill the
We gotta
sky
figure out
with the
who
light
that is
of
because
a
I'm not sure if
brilliant,
it's Pierre.
brilliant billion of stars.
I'm not hearing great things anymore.
The light
This
The
feels like a
light of
speech from a
optimism.
Spider-Man game.
of faith, of truth,
Northernmost
and
Dakota.
service.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
What did she say?
HU. For the benefit of us all. I hope that is not.
Havana Caveman, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. I mean, if it would make Alberta better, I guess. But no. I like that Canada's like a big country. We would no longer be that big. But no, that's not why. Alberta's cool. I've actually been there. I really like Alberta. I've been to Jasper. I've been to Banff. Calgary. So Edmonton. Alright. So what did she say?
The case. But here's the thing, America, if it is,
It is.
let us fill the sky with the light
With
of a
chemtrails. Guys. Anyone else? I know I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but like lately they really are just pumping the sky full of like what looks like big clouds. Like it's just like the sun is always blocked. There's always trails. Like these trails, they don't disappear. They like become these big clouds. And like what the fuck? So that's like something that I hope Trump will do something about. I don't know, but like nobody seems to notice or care or think it's actually happening.
brilliant, brilliant billion of stars. The light
This
The
feels like
light
a
of
speech from a Spider-Man game.
of faith, of truth, and service.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
A Jew,
Did she say a Jew? The fuck?
and may that work guide us, even in the face of setbacks, toward the extraordinary promise of the United States of America. I thank you all. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. I thank you all.
It wasn't so bad. It could have been way worse.
Let's be honest about this, okay? Let's be absolutely blunt about it. There were appeals to racism in this campaign, and there is racial bias in this country, and there is sexism in this country.
Yeah, that's why people voted for Kamala. Yeah, you're right.
And anybody who thinks that that did not in any way impact on the outcome of this race is wrong.
Can you imagine a woman of color acting like Donald Trump acted, even for one day? The kinds of stuff that he said, the kinds of things that he did, the way that he would...
And also the way that you guys cut videos of him in order for him to say things that he didn't actually say.
Insult people. If you're a person of color, you don't feel you have that freedom. You feel like you really are somewhat constrained. You're always running...
Is that why you brought in like so many immigrants that now it's even harder to have those freedoms?
We had Herman Cain. Herman Cain would talk mad shit. Yeah, he would talk all kinds of shit on people. Like, what do you mean?
Something in the back of your mind like, how am I going to be perceived? And also, if I say this, will they think that all black people are this way or all women are this way? So there's a license that he had to just be a fool, just to be an obnoxious ass to everyone. And for people to go, well, he can still be president.
Let's be honest about this.
It's crazy how they cannot stop talking about identity politics. They cannot do it. Oh, there's more.
So.
Oh, the view!
Yeah, go ahead. My takeaway is that the system works. We live in a democracy. People spoke. This is what people wanted. I vehemently disagree with the decision that America...
She's right. She's, you know what? That's fucking based. Absolutely. Yeah.
Americans made, but I feel very, very hopeful that we have a democratic system in this country. We should value it. We should love it. We should protest if the situation arises that we need to protest, which I'm sure it will. And I've been through this before with Nixon. It's been very difficult. And I've been through this before with Nixon. It's been very difficult. But boy, oh boy, do we have a country if we can keep it.
Yeah.
Man. How about that? Hopefully the...
Oops.
This is what people wanted. I vehemently...
Based.
Valuation arise with Nixon if...
Man. How about that? Hopefully the view ceases to exist? What do you mean? Wait, do you know how many people are going to be hate watching them now? This video didn't age well.
Kamala Harris is spanking Donald Trump's ass right now, and we are going to know that she has won the presidency before the night is over on November 5th. Save this, come back to it, I don't care. You want some facts over feelings? Look at the percent of women that are voting compared to men.
Get roasted.
Uh-oh. They
Scott
cannot stop
is
talking
not
about it.
Blue wall states
cool.
of Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania.
I'm sorry. You know they're always terrible. Especially when, like, you know, I don't have much to go on. you know how it goes. Anyways,
It's
I hope
double
you're doing
digit.
well. It's Dr.
Look at the
Scott.
exit polls in those states.
Thank you so much.
Trump built another wall and he wasn't even the president.
They are overwhelmingly 20+% saying they voted for Kamala Harris. Look at Georgia and the record turnout. You're seeing people in North Carolina marching to the polls with marching bands. What the hell? Like, that is an insane amount of energy when people are literally leading parades to the polls. You are seeing in North Carolina Mark Robinson trailing his opponent by like 18%. You don't think those people are going to come out and vote for Kamala Harris as
Interview
well?
this guy? Oh,
States
God.
like Florida and Arizona that have abortion on the ballot. And these people are coming out in droves to...
Florida and Arizona. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's about right.
protect their fundamental rights and bodily autonomy. Look at states like
Trump was never going to ban abortion.
Donald Trump is only a +5 in Nebraska. Look at Iowa and the bombshell of report from Ann Seltzer coming out that Kamala Harris is leading Iowa by 3 points. So to the fuck your feelings crowd, fuck your feelings, MAGA. You have zero shot
We
in
literally,
this election. I don't care what you feel. I don't
we
care
as
what
in
you tell me about
I didn't
Polly
vote because
Market
I'm Canadian,
and
but
foreign
like these people should be grateful. In my opinion, you should be grateful because you know, you're not gonna have I just feel like we were headed toward communism, okay? Like Canada's headed toward communism, and the U.S. was gonna be headed as well, and now hopefully not.
money and untraceable Bitcoin
So you should be
flooding
grateful.
that.
These people
Look
should be
at
grateful, but they'll
the
never know that we saved them.
facts.
They'll probably never
One
know.
candidate has money. One candidate.
If Kamala won, and then we have 4 years of her, sorry, we as in, North America. I like to speak on US and Canada collectively. Then, after 8 years of Harris Biden, or Biden Harris, after 8 years of Democrat Party being in office, that's when they would realize, oh my God, get these efforts out of there. But they're not gonna know now because, they don't know. They don't know what they're talking about. Anyway.
It is completely broke. One candidate has so much enthusiasm. We're going back to 2008
What do you guys think?
levels
Thoughts?
and above.
Am I
You know
wrong?
what happened in 2008? Yeah, you got your asses spanked then too. So all of this
I don't
is
mind
leading us to a
agree
complete
to
and
disagree.
utter
He only made this so his wife wouldn't
washout
divorce
of
him.
These Republicans.
Is that true?
Nate Silver has said there is a 1 in 9 something billion% chance that all these polls calling this race are actually correct. There is no chance that these polls are as tight as they're showing. It is just complete hogwash for every legitimate poll out there. There's 20 plus Republican
So
paid
did this guy?
polls.
Hold on.
Kamala Harris is spanking that ass right now, and we are going to know the results on election night. We don't have all
this
these
guy,
mail-ins like we had in 2020.
make a
You cannot
reaction
compare
to
2020
Trump's
to
victory?
this. She does not need the type of firewall that she had that Biden had in 2020, because so many people were voting by mail. That's not the case anymore. That's not the case. So we are going to know these results so much faster, and a lot of these states are on the East Coast. So when these polls close at 7 or 8 o'clock Eastern, we are going to know so much of the results so early, and the victory is going to be so overwhelming that she is going to have it sewn up before the end of the night. So save it, mark it, don't care. Say you're going to come back and find me. I welcome it. Bring it on, MAGA. You are going down.
Well,
the thing is, okay, listen. The thing is, from my perspective, from a Canadian's perspective, who is chronically online and watches pretty much only based YouTubers for my news source, I was very, very, very confident that Trump was going to win, and I'm kicking myself that I didn't bet money on it. Honestly, I am kicking myself that I didn't bet money on it. If I was allowed, I don't even know if that's allowed. I'm assuming that's allowed. I hear people were doing it in the States, so I don't know. But shit, I should have bet money on it, because there's no way, there was no way Kamala was, from my perspective, from everything I've seen, from everyone I've heard from it's just there was no way she was gonna make. There's no way.
Does he have an update?
No way.
Yeah, I don't know if he's got an update for this or not.
No, he's not.
Does he have an update video? Yeah, that might be it. Oh man, yeah, I'm not seeing an update on this. Ooh.
FPS, where are you from?
I don't have to interview the guy.
I mean, listen, I don't really know anything about Asmongold. I watch his stuff sometimes. I like his reaction to things. I don't always agree with what he's saying, but I also don't sometimes I agree, sometimes I disagree. But I don't think he's I don't know. What makes you say that, I guess? He got cancelled, lost his sponsors, and then issued a PR apology. I mean, but what did he say exactly? Like I'm not trying to say that he's not anything. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, I don't think he actually meant to be. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. But, like, should I not watch him? I don't know. I just feel like nobody can't, like, you can't say anything anymore. Like, nobody can say anything anymore. I feel like I watched his apology video. Here, let's see. What did Asmongold say? What exactly did Asmongold say? What did he say? Was it 2 weeks ago? Okay. Okay, let's hear it.
Asmongold, one of the biggest names in the streaming world, recently found himself in hot water following controversial remarks about the Israel-Palestine conflict. Known for his White 24, during a live stream, Asmongold commented on the ongoing Gaza conflict, stating that he wouldn't cry a river for Palestinians and called their culture inferior. These remarks.
Hold on, I want to hear it from his
on
mouth.
social media.
I want to hear it from.
Quickly went viral, causing an uproar on social media.
If you want to consider a genocide as a systematic killing of a group of people, they have genocide built into Sharia law right now. So no, I'm not going to cry a river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a They're terrible
I
people.
don't agree with him. Yeah. I don't agree with him. It's not their fault that it's baked into their laws. If that's the case, I'm not saying it is, but, like, my stance is that nobody should be. My stance is that, like, there shouldn't be any war at all. And the Democrats want war, and that's why I'm not for the Democrats. Like, that's when Trump says when Trump says he wants everyone to stop dying, I genuinely believe him when he says that. And that's why I'm, like, the Democrats are tricking you guys. The Democrats are tricking you guys, and that's, Do you like that he's a popular multimillionaire guy that doesn't shower? I mean, just because I'm watching his video FPS, it doesn't mean that, like, I like the guy. I watch all kinds of people. I just prefer, I prefer to watch Kamala speaking with somebody reacting to it than, than just watching Kamala herself, I guess. Like, I don't know, my reaction probably wouldn't be as entertaining. It's not that deep, to be honest. I don't agree with what he said. I'm glad that he apologized, and to me, watching this video does not mean that me watching whatever that video I was watching, it doesn't mean that I like Asmongold, doesn't mean I support him. Like, okay, I'm showing it on my screen, but, like, what difference am I gonna make to his 3 million subscribers, honestly? And like, I don't know, I'm just, like, I'm tired of, like, everything's hateful, everything's racist, everything's this, everything's that. I'm not trying to hate. I'm not trying to hate. But, like, I don't know. People are over it, and that's why Trump won. People are so over, like, everyone's offended. Like, that's not our problem. That's not, that's not everyone's problem to worry about how everyone else is offended. Like, freedom of speech, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. But now it seems like words hurt so fucking much, and we're fucking over it. So I'm so sorry. Like I don't. This is just me venting out like how I've been feeling the last like 8 years. Okay, because Canada has been under Trudeau's thumb for the last 8 years, and I feel like, you know, this is like a turn, like a change. I don't agree with everything Trump has done. I don't agree with everything he said. I don't necessarily like the guy one way or another. But I do think that he is what America needs right now. I think he's what Canada needs right now, and hopefully, you know, the rest of the world will follow suit in terms of like this globalist crap, you know, wanting, you know, everything to be illegal and you can't do anything, you can't say anything, you can't go anywhere, you have to get vaccines if we tell you to, and like that's not liberty, that's not freedom. So all this election shows that the majority knows that what the Democrats were feeding the people were lies and not what freedom actually looks like. It's a load of BS. And that's my TED Talk. Please, please, please do not hate. I love everyone, and this is just me letting out my feelings. And, you know, if I watch anyone that you don't like, please don't take it personally. I really don't care one way or another. I just watch things for an objective purpose and not necessarily like, I really like this person. And I know that I seemed like a Trump lover the last while, but it's not that I'm a Trump lover. It's that, in my opinion, Canada needs him in office. Canada needs Trump in US office just as much as America needs him in office. And so that is why I kind of just like jumped on the, you know, Trump bandwagon. But I'm really not like, you know, a big fan or anything like that. Like I'm totally neutral to him because I've never met the guy, right? So I can't say one way or another that whether or not he's actually good or evil or, you know, whatever. Like he's a human and he's what America needs. The media spilled a lot of lies about him, so I mean, and that's besides the point, because every politician is gonna have dirty secrets. That's how politics is. So it's like, again, you know, just saying. So anyway, that's yeah. That's how I feel, and now I changed all my Twitter was all like Trump's, not really Trump stuff. I had like a Trump cat, and then like animals in costumes like defending themselves. You know, like, because I don't even want to get into the Ohio thing. I know that several videos were not real. Okay, I'm aware of that. But there were reports filed. There were real reports filed, and there were several, plenty of records and recordings of town hall meetings that was enough for me to be like, enough is enough. I'm gonna start supporting Trump because that's what America needs. Not because I like him. Not because I agree with anything he's done criminally or anything like that, but I do believe when he says that he wants people to stop dying in wars and that he wants to make America better, I genuinely believe the guy when he says that. So that's that. Anyway, that's my TED Talk number 2.0. You haven't checked the internet today? How have Kamala supporters reacted online? Okay, so oh shoot. Sorry guys, sorry. Let's just go to my setup is all messed up. Let's go to home and let's see. Let's go to For Me and see what we get here. Can you guys see the screen? Okay, so this is like the most famous one. No! Oh, here we go.
you choke on a piece of concrete and literally go to hell. I will see you in fucking hell, you fucking asshole.
We're about to show you some more.
So that's what happens when the government lies to you. That's what happens when the government lies to you. You think it's the end of the world. Clearly the majority can see through the BS. And that's why, that's what happened here. But anyway, I don't know. I'm getting too passionate. This is supposed to be a chill stream, and I'm not chilling.
I personally think that if all of these men are voting to take our rights away, they don't deserve to touch a woman for the next 4 years.
The taste of the tears.
Hope you thought that through, you guys. I personally
liberal
think that if
tears
all
on
of these
tap,
men are
you know what I
voting to take
mean?
our
You know
rights
what I'm
away,
saying?
they don't deserve to touch a woman for the next 4 years. So, hope you thought that through, you guys. I personally think that if...
Here's the thing. All these, oh, where's the one? Where was the one? Here, let's watch it.
This is all break, right? Like,
I feel like this was from last time. Wasn't this from last time, like 2016?
Gonna wake
she looks
up
familiar.
Tomorrow morning and everything's gonna go back to the way it'll be a psych.
It's gonna go back to the way it was from 2016 to 2020, which was like good economy, affordable things, normal ass crap. Hold on. Oh, I hate this lady.
At the IMF
Okay, I didn't mean that.
meetings
In
in
game.
Washington a couple of weeks.
What did she say?
At the IMF World Bank meetings in Washington a couple of
50
weeks ago, on the
billion?
sidelines of the IMF World Bank meetings in Washington.
This is the lady that froze Canadian people's bank accounts when the Freedom Convoy happened in Parliament, and they were peacefully protesting, and if you donated to their cause, she froze Canadian citizens' bank accounts so that they couldn't buy groceries if they needed. Y'all post videos of the meltdown the View is having right now. Can't stop laughing. Is this Lady Gaga? Mr. Infectors, God, are you serious right now? Thank you so much for 10 gift subs. You know what? Can I be honest with you? When Asmongold apologized, I was like, what was I thinking to myself? I was like, you know when a YouTuber fucks up and then they have to issue their apology and like, they have to kind of pander and apologize. Like literally he said that and the next day he's like, I noticed where I'm wrong, and that's what I remember. Okay, so it's coming back to me. So he's like, so it was basically the next day that he like issued that apology, right? And I remember thinking to myself, I don't know if you can hear me. I remember thinking to myself, like, gee, like he turned around that quickly, like, you know what I mean? Like that's how quickly he realized where like he was wrong. So yeah, that was actually kind of funny. But I think it was like out of ignorance. I don't know. I'm not gonna defend him. You know what? I'm not gonna defend him because I actually don't agree with what he said at all. I don't. Oh no, Harley Quinn crying. Yes, they all have the hire from the same big PR firm. All my neighbors are probably like listening to my TED Talk. I hope they agree with my sentiment and not the other way around, because that would suck. Like, no, it wouldn't suck, actually. It wouldn't suck. Just that, man, blue voters are scary. If you support Trump, like, they fucking will hate you and call you a Nazi. Like, this is precisely why people left the left. Because you can't say anything without being called these terrible names that really should be saved for when someone is actually being a bigot, when someone is actually being a transphobe, when someone is actually being racist. Do you know what I mean? But people just, they'll just say it even to their allies. They don't even know, like, you might be an ally and then but you say something, you might say the wrong thing and suddenly you're a transphobe, you're this, you're that. And this is why majority were like, fuck this shit, like, we're tired of this shit, like, we are accepting, but you still bite our heads off, and like, fuck it, like, you know, and then we can't say anything, we can't do anything, like nah, everything's expensive, you know, and all our money is going to war and death, and like, nah. Okay, TED Talk number 3 is over. I need to stop. It's supposed to be a chill stream. Let's chill with some liberal tears. Okay, here's the thing, like, I really didn't like Trump back in 2016, or even in 2020. Like, I didn't really, I believe I wanted Biden to win back in 2020, if I'm not mistaken. But then, yeah, after 8 years of Trudeau and 4 years of Biden, I realized, like, you know, Trump, whether you love him or hate him, he's the man for the job. Like, that's what you end up realizing. The View, we must censor social media to prevent. Not to mention that Donald Trump used to be a Democrat. Okay, and then he became, I guess, independent, and he's running for Republican because as an independent, you're not really going to get the vote, so that's why he has to run as a Republican. But even the Republicans don't want him in office. Nobody who is actually, like, you know, the shadow government, the uniparty, you know, the elites, whatever, none of them want Trump in office because Trump actually wants what's good for us, and they just want war and greed and whatnot. So TED Talk number 4 is over. Fuck, I can't stop. And they all have the hire from the same big PR firms. You don't think Donald Trump will cancel you? Wait, you don't think Donald Trump will cancel you in a heartbeat if you spoke against Israel? No, I don't think so. Wait, you don't think Donald Trump will cancel me in a heartbeat? Goodest Boyzilla, how you doing? I don't think Trump would cancel me. I'm not big enough. Like, I'm not big enough to make an impact, I don't think. YouTube, let's say I was talking out against it on YouTube. I feel like YouTube doesn't have an issue with that. And I don't think YouTube's gonna change their stance because YouTube is still technically owned by the Democrats or whatever. Like, you know, all the mainstream, like, that's why people who try to share the news that what's actually going on, they get suppressed. Their channels get suppressed, and then you kind of only get what, you know, one side wants to feed the people, and, you know, you have to kind of, I don't know, sparse through. So what I noticed is that speaking out against Israel is fine, but speaking out against Palestine is not. And again, I don't think that either speaking out against either is right. I think that there should be no war. I think there should be peace. I don't know how the Middle East is going to achieve that, but it's certainly not with the Kamala presidency, in my opinion. Because, like, did they ever call a ceasefire? How long did it take them to call a ceasefire? How long, like, people were protesting forever for a ceasefire. Why didn't they do it? It's madness preach. The right tried to cancel everyone the past year that spoke against Israel. So they about to cancel culture. Let's be honest, they both suck. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Like, not to say that they both suck. I want to say that I don't have a say. Honestly, I don't have a say. I don't know much about Israel. I don't know much about Palestine. I know vaguely the history, and I don't believe that the Democrats have either side's best interest at heart. I think they have like their own pockets, their own pockets in mind. That's pretty much it, you know. America said we don't care. The Middle East, I feel like a lot of people were canceled, but I feel like a lot of stars were canceled, right? But I mean, they arrest Diddy, and then they have all of the Diddy party attendees endorse them, and then they like you're having all the Diddy parties, all the Diddy attendees endorse your party. That's not a good look, right? Like that's like people are waking up to like Hollyweird and all that stuff, and like it's a dark world out there, and the Democrats have hidden what's really going on, and a lot of people are awake because of the rise of social media and independent journalism. The Middle East is only gonna achieve peace through total genocide of one side. LOL. Don't say LOL. These are peoples who have hated each other for literally thousands of years. Yeah, like and I mean that's why I personally don't have a say. Like what the fuck do I know? You know what I mean? Like um I don't know. I don't know. We need the Pope to call in a new crusade to retake that shit and force them to get along like we did before. Trump is kind of a con man, to be honest, but he was 100% the right play. Most people highly doubt Trump will stop funding the billions to fund Israel's war against Iran. Well, let's see, right? FPS, like if that's what he's gonna do, then we have to question him. We have to light a fire under him, you know, and we have to protest against. It's, you know, the fight isn't over, you know. Just because Trump is in office now doesn't mean like everything is gonna be okay. Far from it. You know, you have to keep an eye on what the fuck is going on, because there's still a lot of forces at play. There's still going to be a lot of forces at play, not just Trump and his party. And it's something you got to keep an eye on. Now that Trump is in office, now he is the one responsible, and he is the one that needs to take accountability. And it's up to us to make sure that he takes accountability. And, you know, I don't know, when it comes to the Israel-Palestine thing, I don't know really what his plans are there. But when it comes to the Ukraine and Russia thing, like, I feel like his stance is pretty clear. Like, he wants that to end. He does not want that to continue any further. And under Kamala's rule as if she's a dictator, but I don't know, like, I don't know, like, headed towards communism a little bit there. And again, this is from a Canadian perspective, where we've had a liberal government for the last 8 years, and this is a liberal, you know, government that literally, you know, after their first 4 years, they basically made sure they stayed in office by teaming up with another party, instead of, you know, letting the people decide which party should stay in office. So that's already pretty freaking dictatorial of Justin Trudeau, and he wants to continue to stay in office by partnering up with a different party, and we're really fucking fed up with it. So yeah, voting for Kamala is like voting for Justin Trudeau, and that's why Canadians are not with Kamala. Like I don't know a single Canadian that's for Kamala. I really don't. Like everybody is for Trump here, and we just don't want America to go down the same path that Canada has gone down. Okay, it's been 8 years, and hopefully it's not going to be 9, 10, 11, 12. You know what I mean? Like we are so done with it. Yes, let's react. Okay. I already watched The View. We watched it, right? This lady was so infuriating. She never answered any questions. She just like deter. Very annoying. Oh, this lady. Okay. Chester, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it.
You guys feel spicy? Because I do. Alright. I don't know how to use this thing. Let's see what happens. Is this cutting off?
Trump is kind of a con man. Okay, so yeah, I have another thing to say about that actually. Most people can't know everything. Exactly. Remember the truck drivers? Yeah, exactly. The truck drivers. When that like evil, wicked witch of the West, where is she? When this wicked witch of the West started freezing people's bank accounts for donating to a protest that like was peaceful and was like later on I realized like was actually like they were really fighting for the people, like so anyway, that was my wake up, like I woke the fuck up after I realized, like after they froze bank accounts, I woke the fuck up real fast after that. And yeah, no, that was not cool. So anyways, more she's just going crazy.
Fuck being skinny, fuck being hot, fuck being all the things that the patriarchy wants us to be. Because clearly, they don't give a shit about us.
Do Trudeau and all politicians go into politics just for all the millions of bribery?
We're so scared of a woman.
The thing is, the people who get on top are not always good people. Actually, usually they're not good people. Because in order to really get on top, I feel like in order to get to this level, even Trump, right? We all can agree that he's not necessarily a good person, right? Doesn't mean he's not good for the job, but that's, you know, like, so, but again, that's why he's on top, because you have to, in my opinion, in order to be on top in terms of like government, like, you know, super duper corporate, like, you know, stocks, trading, all that shit, like, you have to be the type of person who's gonna step on other people to get to the top. Because you can be as good as you want. Somebody out there is gonna use that to their advantage. Is gonna use your goodness to their advantage, and they're gonna step on you to get on top. And if you think that's not true, then you're very naive, okay? And that's why everyone on top, you can't trust and think that they're good. You have to question everyone who's there, because like nobody, like there's too many, you know, greedy people out there who are not gonna allow the good person to be on top, because the good person is always gonna be taken advantage of by the bad. If they can be, you know, unless they can, unless like, I don't know, I don't want to say that Elon Musk is a good person necessarily, but I also don't think he's a bad person. I think that he wants good things. I don't always agree with the things he wants for planet Earth. Like, I don't think humanoid robots are like necessarily a good idea, but that's a different story. So it seems like things like that. That doesn't make him a bad person, that he wants to, you know, make robots and electric vehicles, which again, I think electric vehicles are very dangerous, and I think that I think hybrid cars are the way to go. But anyway, that's again another story. So people like Elon Musk, for example, but that's like such a rare case, right? And who knows, like maybe he's not, I think there's people out there who do not think he's a good person, and maybe he's not, and maybe he had to step on other people in order to get to where he is, right? So, but we'll never really know because we don't know these people personally, and they have so much money that we'll just never relate to them, and they'll never relate to us. But we just have to keep questioning and try to use our best judgment and just keep learning, and look for other sources of your news and media that aren't so deeply funded by your government or other corporations, because those are the less biased sources, and you have to cross-reference because those sources aren't always going to be correct. All right, more tears.
Being pushed around,
oh,
and
this
seeing
person.
others get pushed around has given me a lot of anger. This anger is probably my primary source of motivation for everything that I do. Is that a good thing? I don't know. After last night, there's sadness, but sadness doesn't get us anywhere. Sadness doesn't motivate. Find that anger that comes from seeing your fellow human pushed around. Harness it to do good in the world. In 50 years, maybe queer people will have the luxury of being able to be motivated by something better, but we can get stuff done with anger. And to all the queer kids
What the hell?
watching, I know how discouraging this must be for you. I wish I
My
could
problem
tell you
with
that your generation.
my problem with these people and reaching out to children is that, first of all, don't fucking talk to other people's children. That's fucking weird and predatory. And I understand why you want to talk to children. It's because you had a tough upbringing, because you grew up queer. You grew up queer in the 90s probably, telling by this person's age. And that was a really fucking difficult thing to go through as a queer person in the 90s. And I understand that. But going to the children and telling them, and telling them, hey, talk to me behind your parents' back, is not the way to go about helping kids today. The way to go about helping kids today is educating and helping parents accept their children for however they identify. And so these people, sorry, I hate to say these people because it's rude, but the community that thinks reaching out to children behind their parents' back that's just predatory, and it's wrong. Like, you don't do that. You teach parents how to accept their children. You teach parents, that their children might be different. Their children might grow up to be gay. Their children might grow up to be trans. And this is how you wanna react. This is what you might want to tell your kid. What questions do you have for me as a gay or trans person? What questions do you have for me that might help you as a parent with a gay or trans child? Not, hey kids, you want to talk to me about sex? Come join my Patreon, like fucking Jeffrey Marsh. Like, that's fucking creepy and wrong. Okay? It's just wrong. And the fact that they want to now, medically transition children. I mean, you can't get tattoos as a kid. You can't smoke cigarettes as a kid. And these things used to be available to children before studies came out showing that, actually cigarettes are really fucking bad for you. Let's put an an age restriction on something like that. So there aren't enough studies They're doing the studies now is actually what's happening. They're doing the studies as we speak. And what that actually, in my opinion, is more like experiments, okay? And then when it comes out that, kids are actually more depressed now, but that they are 100% dependent on big pharma for the rest of their lives because they made a decision when they were 12 years old that maybe, they might change their mind on one day. And even if they don't, that's fine too, because that's kind of besides the point, because now you're still dependent on medication that you otherwise wouldn't have to be. If you we're going off the rails today, guys. All right, I should remove chill from I should remove chill from my tags. Let's get a little music too. It's a little quiet in here. That was messed up, man. Yes, Trump is not a good man. Let's not forget he's a draft dodger after all. Wait, what does that mean? I've been on Twitter a good bit today. Oh yeah? In some states, they are allowed to basically transition kids and not tell parents. That's a problem. That's a problem. And the thing is, the people who are crying about that being taken away, well, I mean, that's going to be taken away. Maybe, like, I don't actually know what Trump is going to, like, I think he said he's going to, you know, not allow medical transition in kids. I agree with that. I'm sorry. Like, you don't allow kids to smoke. You don't allow kids to get tattoos. Why would you allow a child to decide as a child that to sterilize or to change? You know what I mean? Like, and then why is it that some adult trans women, so biological men, why is it that some adult or a lot of adult trans women do not have to medically transition whatsoever in order to identify as a woman? So if they don't have to medically transition in order to fully identify as a woman, why are we so hung up on medically transitioning children? 100% stay away from kids. Identity politics, it's racist. Are we stoked for Trump? We are stoked. We are stoked, Blakers. Welcome to the chat. We are stoked. He dodged the Vietnam War with daddy's money. Well, he's still a better fit. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I don't like the guy. But, I mean, Tim Walz has stolen valor. Like, okay, he dodged the war. Tim Walz has stolen valor. I mean, how old was he? Let's go. Let's check it out. ChatGPT. How old was Trump when he dodged the war Vietnam? And by the way, if it was any of us and we had the option and the money to dodge a war, I think we would. So I want to be serious and open and honest. Like, let's have a truthful, open and honest conversation about this. If put yourself in the shoes of somebody who is being forced to go to Vietnam or a place really, really far away that, you know, out of your comfort zone in this day and age when you're used to cell phones, when you're used to, I mean, okay, they didn't have that back then, but like, just try to put yourself, if you had the means to get yourself out of that situation, wouldn't you? It's easy to say that you would do the right thing, but would you really and actually do the right thing if you had the choice to get yourself out of there? I think a lot of people would choose to get themselves out of there, and I'm just being honest. Tim Walz's stolen valor story? We'll see. Okay, Donald Trump received several deferments from the draft during the Vietnam War in the late 1960s. Initially, he was granted 4 educational deferments while attending college, and after graduation, he was classified as medically unfit due to a diagnosis of bone spurs in his feet. Now, this is ChatGPT, so, you know, we may need to cross-reference. I don't know. Maybe I will check out maybe some YouTube videos, see what they have to say about Trump's dodging Vietnam. And it also says, Trump was born on June 14th, 1946, making him around 22 years old at the time he received his medical deferment in 1968. By then, the Vietnam War draft was in full effect, and he was eligible for service but was ultimately exempt due to his medical classification. So this doesn't mention money, and it mentions a medical reason. So he didn't dodge it because he had money, question mark? Trump's deferments were not technically draft dodging, but his situation is often discussed in this context. His deferments were granted through official channels. He first received 4 student deferments, which were typical for those attending college at the time, and then a medical deferment due to bone spurs in his feet after graduating. Though Trump came from a wealthy family, his deferments were not solely due to his financial status. Many men with medical conditions received deferments, though some observers have questioned whether his family's influence might have facilitated the diagnosis. However, no direct evidence has surfaced proving that Trump's family's wealth was used to avoid the draft explicitly. The military draft was complex, and deferments were common, with many granted for educational, medical, and other reasons. So FPS, maybe do you know where you heard that from? That he dodged the Vietnam War with daddy's money? Do you have like an article or something? Because like I want to cross-reference. Like I don't want to just solely trust what ChatGPT has to say. Life is not fair. His dad has money. Depends on the war. But can't dodge the draft and claim you're some smart strategist about fighting and call USA prisoners of war's losers for getting caught. And claim you're some smart strategist about fighting and call USA prisoners of war. I mean, USA is prisoner of war. All the taxpayer money is going to war. That's what he meant by that. Isn't that what he meant by that? Like the military industrial complex, you know? Like it's a thing. It's like, how do we say? I don't know. I agree with that sentiment that USA is prisoner of, so are Canadians, so are Europeans right now. Like all the money is going to Ukraine. Obviously that medical reason was BS. I mean, but like, where's your proof, FPS? Where's your proof? Because my uncle didn't have to join the Portuguese army because he's flat-footed, right? So like, it's totally possible that Trump could have had a medical thing. Like it's a thing. Like if you have, the thing is, when it comes to the military, especially back in the 60s, they only wanted the most perfect men to join the military. If you had flat foot, you couldn't join the military. If you had bone spurs, I guess you can't join the military. If you were deaf, obviously you can't join the military. You know what I mean? Like, they wanted only the absolute most perfect men to fight these wars because they want to win. But it's also kind of dumb because they're sending like the most fit, the most perfect, quote unquote, physically fit men to die. Like that's what they're sending. They're sending the best to die kind of thing. But anyway. He may be a draft dodger, but he dodges bullets like a pro. He called Senator John McCain, a combat war veteran, a loser for getting caught by the Viet Cong. I'm just checking who John McCain is. A combat war. That was probably personal, no? You can say it, but coming from a draft dodger, like I said, if it were any of us, and like I want you to close your eyes and imagine if the military came to your door right now and said, you have to join the military right now. You have to get up and you have to leave everything behind and you have to join us right now. And then now imagine that somehow your family was like, oh, let's not do that. What, you're gonna say, no, it's okay, I'll go fight this war. I'll go fight this war over like, 16 hours away. No problem, I'll do that. When you have the choice to not, let's be let's be honest with ourselves. Would you not also dodge? Like, let's be honest. If the opportunity rose, it doesn't sound like he went out of his way to dodge the military. But I don't know. Where's your source, FPS? I want your source. I need your source. Because it sounds like maybe, you know, you're hearing things. I don't know. Because I used to believe all that stuff too about Trump. I used to believe everything that they would say until you start, you know, to realize or listen to why, I don't know, like, again, from the perspective of a Canadian who's had to, you know, live under the liberal party for 8 years, it's just like we can see what's actually happening. And that is that there's a lot of lies about Trump that are not true, or a lot of exaggerations, or, you know, a lot of things. They checked for Flatfoot back. Wait, they checked for Flatfoot back in the back when you joined 08. Not even that long ago. Wow, they checked for Flatfoot in 08. Wow. Undead Fred, how's it going? That's a good way to change the subject. Wait, what did he say? He may be a draft dodger, but he dodges bullets like a pro. Dude's resolve is solid. Alright, yeah. Tim Waltz. What is Tim Waltz stolen valor story? Excuse me. I mean, he even mentioned it during the debate. Right? Like, they grilled him. They're like, so why did you lie about the you know, stolen valor, Tim? Let's hear it from the man himself. Debate. Where's the part about the biggest moments? Debating Tim Walt's military service, stolen valor claims. No, I want the Tim's
With just over a month to go until election. To solve this, but by standing with Donald Trump and not Harris's open border. I didn't accuse common sense, and they don't have wisdom.
Where did they? When was it that they asked him about that?
Now here's something that really bothers me and worries me about this epidemic of violence. The gross majority, close to 90%, and some of the statistics I've seen.
It's when he's like.
Gun violence in this country is committed with illegally obtained.
It's when he's like.
We know what happens. You end up staying home. In some places, I want to talk about it. Kamala Harris is engaged in censorship at an industrial scale. She did it during a federal.
Since then, Senator, you've talked about changing how chronically ill Americans get health insurance.
Folks, look, we can't do it at the federal level, but local folks make it easier to build those homes. That's what those San Diego parents. I've become friends with school shooters.
He becomes friends with school shooters.
They used to teach gun safety themselves.
I know he misspoke. I'm just.
To inflation, the high.
Was it here? Like, where was it?
From making sure that and the idea that freedom really means something, not the freedom of government services after midnight mass where you go with your family.
Where was it? Did they remove that part? You think they removed it?
Of a Kamala Harris in the last 15 years. The last that's what's wrong with the system. There's a way around it, and he's bragged about that.
I just want the part addresses questions around. Okay, maybe it's this one.
Last voice the president hears before making consequential decisions.
No, that's not the one.
About your leadership qualities.
Wait.
Governor Walz, you said you were in Hong Kong during the deadly Tiananmen Square protests in the spring of 1989. But Minnesota Public Radio and other media outlets are reporting that you actually didn't travel to Asia until August of that year. Can you explain that discrepancy?
Yeah.
The stolen valor controversy surrounding Tim Walz primarily stems from claims about his military service and timing of his retirement. Waltz served in the National Guard for 24 years but did not see combat. In 2005, he retired shortly before his unit was mobilized to Iraq, which sparked criticism from some veterans and political figures like Senator J.D. Vance. They alleged Waltz retired to avoid deployment. Though Walt's supporters argue he had already fulfilled his service requirements and chose to run for Congress instead, making the decision after years of service and difficult deliberation. He was deployed to non-combat missions during his career, including a 2003 posting to Italy, and trained with weapons, though not in an active combat zone. The phrase stolen valor has been used by critics, but supporters maintain that Waltz's service and decision-making were consistent with his obligation. The controversy highlights a common political debate regarding military service claims and the scope of valor. I think the problem was that he said he was in combat when he wasn't in combat. So that's the stolen valor, because he actually retired before any combat had to occur.
Well, and to the folks out there who didn't get at the top of this,
Kamala
I
robbed.
grew up in small rural
Lebron, how's it going?
Town that you rode your bike with your buddies till the street lights come on, and I'm proud of that service.
Hold on, let's see.
I joined the National Guard.
Let's remember. You're just trying to get a cheap gotcha on her, so no one cares that he is a draft dodger. Did you see the numbers? Let's remember, most men didn't dodge. That's a good point. That's a good point, Freddie. Would a patriot think twice about fighting for USA? I don't know, but I think that a 22-year-old might think not fuck the patriarchy, but I think that a 22-year-old might, in those times, might be anarchist, before they grow up and realize, you know what, this country did good for me, and I shouldn't have hated them when I was younger, and I should have been grateful, and now I am feeling patriotic, and I appreciate the fact that my dad was very wealthy, and I actually was successful with that money, and I don't know. What I'm trying to say is, like, Trump is very successful, and whatever he did in life, like he did bad things. What I'm trying to say is, like, what am I trying to say? I don't know. He's still the right guy for the job, is all I'm trying to say. He's a businessman, and don't they always say the government is just a business, and that our social insurance number is our contract, or what our birth certificate is actually our contract, and the government owns us, and blah blah blah. Isn't that, like, if that's the case, then don't we want our government, our business, the business of the United States, to be run by somebody who's really good at running businesses, instead of, like, really good at not caring about the American people and only caring about funding wars and things that, the American people don't really care about because they're hurting right now. So, like, when I was growing up, for example, in Toronto, I grew up as I was born here, but my family immigrated from Portugal, and so we would visit Portugal like every other year, and I used to like talk shit about Toronto. I grew up here, I was born and raised here, and I used to talk shit about Toronto, and I used to talk shit about Canada. Why? Because when you're young, you take things for granted, and you go to, like, I went to Portugal, and I would think, oh, it's so much better than Toronto, blah blah blah. And as I got older, like, I realized, like, I love Canada. Like, Canada was good to me, thank you. Like, I'm sorry that I was ungrateful before, because I am so lucky and privileged to live in a place like Canada. And as you get older, you realize that. And so maybe you're not always patriotic. You know, maybe, and you know what? Even if I'm patriotic, but I wouldn't join the army, you know? I wouldn't join the fucking army. I'm not that patriotic, you know what I mean? So I don't know, that's just, it's kind of in the weeds, but people who served know how scummy that is, yeah. I mean, here's the thing though, like, here's the thing. Serving is a really, like, serving, you know, and being in combat takes a lot of guts. And why do people on the Democratic side seem to want to, like, down with the patriarchy and all this shit? Like, I think, again, we should be grateful that we have strong men that fight for us, because, like, there's a lot of people that don't and that aren't going to. And we should be grateful for the men and the women and those strong-willed people that fight for, you know, our nation. Not defund the police. Why defund the police? We should fund the police. And, like, it just makes no sense. It makes no sense. Those people have tough jobs, you know. And here's one thing that I want to say. Do you guys remember when New York flooded? But okay, I forgot. I needed to let this guy speak, but I also just want to get out this one last thought. It might not be my last thought. New York flood, what year was it? Like 2022? 2023? Was it 2023 or 2022? I think. Okay, so what do you guys remember this?
Oh, just started your holiday shopping? I just finished online.
Emergency in New York, a deluge, 2 months worth of rain.
Tim Walt's story, sorry, so much going on right now. Tim Walt's story is he got a commission to a unit that was deployed, took the commission knowing he was going to serve in politics. The unit got deployed, Tim Waltz stayed behind, but took credit for the unit. That's the thing, he's taking credit for something, he was trying to take credit for something he didn't do. And that's what happened there. But took credit for the unit's deployment, even though he didn't, and pissed off his unit. He pissed off his unit because that commission could have gone to someone who was actually going to serve. It's kind of in the weeds, but people who served know how scummy that is. Kamala robbed, you know, tough guy Navy SEAL YouTuber Jacko. I do not. Jacko. Is it this guy? Holy cow, this guy looks like friggin' Hulk. What's going on? Ellie in video land, how are you? Sorry, I'm like talking so much that I'm not reading the chat. But how are you, Ellie? I love you. How are you? What's going on? What did you miss? Mostly I watched Kamala's speech. Where she conceded. What else did we watch? I'm just mostly talking politics and why Canada needs Trump and why I was supporting Trump, and not because I like Trump, but because I don't want the USA to become like Canada has been the last 8 years. And yeah, let's go! It's for your own good is what I'm trying to say, okay? It's for your own good, guys. It's for your own good, okay? You don't know it now, but it's for your own good. Anyway, Trump was going to win whether I supported or not, whether I said anything online or not, but I just had to, after a while, I'm like, fuck, I gotta start talking because I have a lot of shit to say. Bjort2! Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Oh snap, you're from T-Dot. Did you see Drake is back in the news? Uh-oh, why is he in the news? Okay, so many things I need to catch up on. Drake news. Let's see. All the articles are gonna say the same thing, right? 2 days ago, this what Drake and what's going on? Oh, is it another diss track thing? Maybe you can give me a quick summary of what's going on with Drake. Base, thank you, Ellie. John Spector, thank you so much. Mega Base, thank you. I appreciate that. She's base and hot. Aw, Ellie, you're so sweet. Sub to her, chat. You're so sweet, Ellie. How are you doing? You're based and hot. What are you talking about? Everybody go follow Ellie. Ellie's so based. Even way more based than me. Ellie actually does talks. Like, Ellie goes and, like, does speeches and talks to people. So, everyone go follow Ellie, please. And make sure you follow her on YouTube because she has a YouTube channel that she makes content on that is super based as well. And I love her takes, so yeah, please go follow her. Just people coming to terms with the election. They'll get over it soon. When they realize that Trump is not banning abortion and that Trump is not taking away, you know, LGBTQ rights, and that doesn't mean, that doesn't, like, I want to emphasize the fact that trans, what is it? Sorry, gender affirming care for children in terms of medical gender affirming care. I don't necessarily think those are LGBTQ rights, because I think that they don't have the child's best interest at heart, and they're actually, I'm not supporting Logan Paul. Oh my god, FPS. Just because I have a Prime bottle, because my niece and nephew wanted to try it, and that I'm using it for water, doesn't mean I'm supporting Logan Paul. This is the problem. We can't do anything anymore. I can't drink water without being attacked because of fucking Prime. Like, I'm so sorry that I'm using a Prime bottle. I'm so sorry that my niece and nephew wanted to try Prime, and that I'm 35 years old, and that I don't care if Logan Paul owns it, because my niece and nephew wanted to try it and I love them. And it's like, okay, one Prime is not gonna hurt. Anyway, I hope you were pulling my leg, FPS. I hope you were pulling my leg. I hope you're pulling my leg, and I'm sorry for how I reacted. But that's why Trump won, because people are like, we can't do anything. Like, everything's a problem. Everything is, you know, oh no, you said this. Oh no, you did that. Like, oh no, and then everything is canceled. Cancel everyone. Okay, I'm sorry, FPS. My apologies. I'm sorry. You're gonna stream. Okay, Ellie. Guys, go check out Ellie. Let's get an Ellie shout out because she's the best and I love her, and she is a fellow streamer. Ooh! I love you, Ellie.
Oh my god, imagine. What the fuck?
Her speech was good, actually. Yeah, it was not bad. Her speech was not bad, but it was a little hypocritical. Like, a little hypocritical in some parts. Because they pretend, like, I don't know, there's just some things that they say, but, like, I don't know. Their actions say otherwise, is kind of what I'm trying to say. While you're streaming, so your followers can come in here too. Oh, you don't have to do that, Ellie. You're most hanging out right now anyway. Okay, sounds good. Enjoy your stream, and don't worry about my you know, I don't know. Don't worry about promoting me or anything like that. You're the best. Apparently Big Don is going to unclassify the JFK files. That would be amazing. The scammer of all scammers. Yes, I don't disagree with you, FPS. By the way, I don't disagree with you that Logan Paul is a scammer. I really don't. The whole Lunchly thing. I mean, yeah, Lunchly, like, the problem is they say it's healthier when it's really not healthier, and then obviously it was moldy, like that. It's rare for a product, for that to happen to a product, but like, also CryptoZoo, that like, he still hasn't paid back anyone for CryptoZoo. So FPS, I agree with you. He's a scammer, but I'm not gonna rack my brain around every single, like, okay, am I allowed to purchase this product based on who made it? And I know that maybe I should be worrying about what I'm buying based on who made it, but like, there's too much else going on that I can't really be bothered to worry about what kind of energy drink I'm gonna get my niece and nephew. And anyway, I'm gonna stop talking about it. I just don't want to lose my friends for being over opinionated, but I want to be today, okay? We're being spicy today. Also, hi, also Stacy, hello. Oh, Stacy, thank you so much for hanging out. How are you? Haha, exposed, you love Logan. I don't. Ouch. But how many people bought Lunchly to review Lunchly? Doesn't mean they support, but they still supported by, spending money on the product. So like, you could be, saying, oh my god, Lunchly, it's moldy, but you still spent money on the product, and I don't know. I wasn't even overtly trying to promote Prime. Anyway, I'm just trying to have a sip of water, and it's handy. That's all. Anyway, I'm gonna drop it. Craziest thing about the election was Scott Presler registered 180,000 Amish first-time voters. Amish turned out. Yeah, I noticed that too. There was like a lot of Amish, people talking about the Amish coming, like started like going to vote, first-time voters kind of thing. Like a lot of new voters this time around. Amish turned out in around 250,000 people. Holy cow. That's the margin of victory for PA. Holy cow, that's a lot. Totally pulling your leg. You're right though, people get so triggered over everything. Yeah, like... Yeah, I don't know. Cool, you're also 35. Oh, nice, Stacy. 35 gang, dirty 30s. Well, I am already streaming. Okay, Ellie, and you have my stream. Oh, I'm shy. Oh yeah, of course the Dems have been hypocrites for their whole term. FPS, did you know that the Democrats, did you know that, hold on, I don't want to get this wrong. The founders of the KKK were Democrats. You can ask, just ask, okay? And Jim Crow laws, Democrats. Did you know that? Who knows that and who doesn't know that? Like, who knew and who is surprised right now to know this? Because after Lincoln, a Republican, freed the slaves, the Democrats were like, no, we don't want that. Why'd you do that? No, we're gonna start a cult, and we're gonna make laws so that segregation. That's what happened. But sorry, Democrats in the South, they were Southern Democrats. They weren't like all the Democrats of the United States. They were Southern Democrats, and that's why people think, because now the South is Republican, and that's why people think Republicans are the racists, but no, really they were Southern Democrats, and that's that's where people are. Yeah, that's something that people don't know. Let me see. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course the Dems. Oh yes. Oh, you will always promote me. I will always promote you to Ellie. Kisses. You're the best. The JFK files is going to be just like the 9/11 files. Oops, sorry. The investigation was never finished conveniently. I wouldn't be surprised either, FPS, if we don't actually get to see the files, like really. I don't know if Trump has that much power because I feel like that shit runs deep. So I don't know. I feel like they're not like, I don't know. We'll see. Well, time will tell. Trump 2024, F Kamala Harris, Maddie Alino. Trump 2024. I don't want to say F Kamala. I wouldn't go that far. But like, she fake. Check on your Democrat friends because a lot of them aren't taking this well. And I don't just mean text them. Actually go their wives. Freddie, you got that off of Twitter. It is a funny line though. It's actually quite impressive how many scams Logan Paul. I know. You're not wrong. Like, CryptoZoo. Hold on. What are all the scams? All the scams Logan Paul. I don't know if ChatGPT will tell me. Has done. Yeah. Has pulled. Oh, wrong word. I used the wrong wording, but ChatGPT always understands me even when I type, even when I have typos. It doesn't always understand me. Sometimes I have to be like, no, this is what I mean. No, this is what I mean. And I'm like, okay, so if this means this, then why this? And he's like, oh, okay, well, I see what you mean. So I actually question ChatGPT a lot because sometimes it gives me an answer that I'm like, are you sure? And then I question him, and then he like, either I get, you know, a more detailed answer, or yeah, I don't know. So question everything, like I said. It's actually, so wait, bro. But isn't Republican do the same effing shit the Dems do instead? Okay, I have to be going now. Isn't Republicans do the same effing shit Dems do? Instead of having an honest conversation, they point fingers at everyone. Both Dems and Republicans are the same. They can't have agreement on anything but shit on each other. Neo, the one, you're absolutely correct. Democrats and Republicans, it's basically the same thing. The difference is that Trump is not really a Democrat. He joined, oh sorry, Trump is not really a Republican. He joined as a Republican because he used to be a Democrat. Trump used to be a Democrat. Did you guys know that? Trump used to be a Democrat, and then he became an independent, I believe. And because he was independent, I think the Democratic Party would never let him run for office. So he had to do it through the Republican route, because like as an independent you're not gonna get the vote. So I don't know how he did it, but he ended up, you know, running as president in 2016 for the Republican Party. But doesn't mean Republicans necessarily wanted that. There's a lot of people at play, and there's a lot of people behind the scenes, and there's a reason why so many attempts at Trump's life, like there's a reason there were so many attempts at Trump's life, because not only Democrats didn't want him there are Republicans that don't want him there either. So you're not wrong, Neo. But like, to say that Trump is like a Republican is like, he's more of a centrist. He had to run as a Republican because you're not gonna win as an independent. That's just how it is. Do you think the KKK aligns with the Democrats right now? Stacy MCM, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Do I think the KKK aligns with it? Okay, like here, I'll be honest. I don't know if the KKK still exists. Let me check. because I don't. When you hear about the KKK, like that's even talking about it. I probably shouldn't even be talking about it. Like I don't even know. You know what I mean? It's like something that you don't talk about. Like, but let's see. Are they still a thing? Still a thing. Yes, the KKK still exists in a limited form, while it's far smaller and less influential than in past decades. Small groups remain active in some past. Okay, so do I think the KKK aligns with? I don't think so. Democrat, in my opinion, the Democrats, like, what do the Democrats align with? The Democrats just want to line their pockets. I don't think that they. I think that they put a big emphasis on race, not so much that, oh, one race is better than the other, even though they might think so, but they're not going to tell you they think that. But they're just going to tell you what's going to line their pockets. And the KKK, I think, care more about segregation and stuff like that, so I don't think so. I'm going to say no to that. Even though the KKK was like founded by Southern Democrats. Lincoln was a Republican. Yep, they used to call them Dixiecrats. Really? They called the KKK-esque Democrats Dixiecrats. Oh, really? Dixiecrat. I didn't know that. Did you think a real Democrat can marry a real Republican? If you know what I mean, do you think a real Democrat can marry a real Republican? I don't see why not. I don't see why not. The thing is, like, it's so. I feel like there's so much division between the Democrats and the Republicans, like today and now more than ever. I find, like, I feel like back in the day, it didn't really matter which way you voted. Government was government, and they were gonna screw you over and tax you out of, anyway. And that's kind of how it was, regardless of who you voted for. And it's only in more recent years, and especially with the whole COVID thing, that people started to really care about what their government is doing, because, they were forced to put something in their body that maybe they didn't really feel comfortable with. And a lot of people realized, like, what the fuck? Like, our government, how could they do this to us? A lot of people did not like that. It really, 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 gave people a very, very sour and bitter taste in their mouth, in my opinion. And for some people, it actually literally did that. The biggest problem with this country, biggest problem with this country is if both parties can work together to fix this country instead of whining and bitching. It would be so much better. True. Come on, your stream is not long enough to go through each one of his scams. Let's see. Logan Paul has been involved in a few high-profile controversies, most notably with his crypto zoo. Yep. What else? However, okay, is it only talking about crypto zoo? Can you? I mean, okay. Like, is Prime? I wouldn't call Prime a scam, because it's not like he promised people Prime and nobody got Prime. Everyone, you can buy Prime. You spend money and you'll get a Prime. So technically, that's not a scam. What is a scam is maybe, like, it's probably not as healthy as they say it is and shit like that. I wouldn't be surprised, the whole Lunchly thing is like, they probably say it's healthier and it's not, like, and that's a scam. But it's not like a full-on scam. It's false advertisement, which, a lot of people do. But what's like an actual scam? Like CryptoZoo, I know for sure, like, that's 100% a scam. What else, like CryptoZoo, did he do? I'm genuinely, like, curious, because I'm trying to, like, remember. I feel like there's so much, like, I know there's a lot of controversies, he's been in like a lot of controversies. But I want to know specifically scams, like, you know, taking people's money and not giving what he promised for that money. The KKK absolutely still exists, and they endorse Trump. Ooh. Was my dad here illegally? Yes. Unhappy times. Very much so. I voted for Trump. I live in Canada and I'm a Canadian citizen, but I went over there. I went over there because you know how they had you don't need an ID to vote. So I went over there and I voted for Trump without an ID because you don't need one. Today's Democrats are manipulating people's emotions. 100%, JB, 100%. Sorry, I'm just like laughing. Finding this funny. Sorry. Today's not the fact that Democrats are manipulating people's emotions. That I don't find funny. That's not what I'm laughing at. I'm just laughing ahead at some comments. Like helping everyone is a good thing, but inviting 10 million undocumented people isn't such a great idea. I agree. But Dems libs will stick by it because it's morally high to them. The thing is, like, there's like you can't just bring in 10 million undocumented people and then expect the people in the community that the illegals are going to. You can't expect those people to like just be okay with it, especially if there's not enough infrastructure to to house these people or anything like that, because a lot of people were and are still camping out on other people's property and stuff like that. Like you don't, if you don't, I need to lower my voice because I'm talking. You don't bring in 10 million people when you don't have the fucking infrastructure, okay? Because it causes more problems. You think you're doing the right thing, but you're actually causing more problems. And they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They know damn well what they're doing. Okay? Like, people, you look at Toronto, like, we got so much immigrants in Toronto, and there's so many more people living on the streets that was never like that before. There's so much happening. There's just it's a completely different Toronto than what it used to be, and it doesn't have to be that way. And they didn't prepare the cities that are getting an influx of people. They didn't prepare the cities well enough for this many people, and there's just people on the streets. People are defecating on like downtown Toronto. That never fucking happened before. You never see that shit. And people are fed the fuck up. And that's that. Married your mother, U.S. citizen. Wait, Unhappy Times married your mother, U.S. citizen, but you have legal immigration. We love them. Family members, it's been difficult. Wait. Married, but you have illegal immigration. Love them. Family members, it's been difficult. The thing is, like, people are unhappy because their tax money is going to the immigrants, or to the illegal immigrants, or even non-illegal. Just like all the money is going, and it's not the time for that because inflation is at its highest. Why are you gonna then bring in 10 million people when the citizens already can't afford? They can't afford living, and now you're gonna bring more. You're gonna bring people, and the U.S. is already can't afford it. So why would they do that? They're not good. Like, that's not a good thing. It looks like it's a good thing. We're bringing in people. We're gonna make the American dream available to everyone. But it's not realistic. And what if everyone in the world decided to move to the United States tomorrow? How the fuck would that go? Do you think the United States has the infrastructure for that. It's just not possible for every single person in the world to have the American dream. It's not fucking possible. And like, you know, there's nothing wrong with wanting to help immigrants. It's just not the time for 10 million immigrants. You know what I mean? It wasn't the right time for that. Because people were already hurting. Their bank accounts were already hurting. Mother didn't vote, you voted on your Christian principles. Hunniebee, you were asking in your... Okay, sorry. You voted Trump, hurt your soul. Why did it hurt your soul? No flame, why? You literally could send your family back. It's sad to hear about Toronto. Yeah, like it's... My friend came here from Vancouver. He stayed 6 days. He hadn't been here in 2 years, and he was like, what the fuck happened to Toronto? Like, it's totally different. Basically, like, he said that there was like nobody going out, it was Halloween too. He came for Halloween. Nobody was going out, like everyone's staying inside, and I think, I don't know, like things are, I haven't even been downtown in like, I don't know how long. It's been really, really long, and everything's changed, everything's different. Everything's expensive. Nobody can afford to go anywhere. And then the service you get for going out is not very good. So everyone's just Ubering, nobody's doing shit anymore. Everyone's unhappy, and that needs to change. You voted on Christian principles, so you're a black sheep in your family, but you don't regret who you are. Trump was not who you wanted, but you made a choice. I mean, like I said, I don't know Trump. I don't know him, you know. I hear he's not a great guy. I don't think he's great. I don't think he's not great. Like, I have a neutral stance. But I think he's what America needs. And I think, you know, even if it hurts you to vote in that way, it's like at the end of the day, like that's what the country needs, you know. They are shipping, and again, every politician, doesn't matter, like every politician has skeletons, okay? But Trump's skeletons are made public because they don't like Trump because he's independent from, you know, the elite. He is an elite, yes, he has money, but he's independent from the globalists, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Hopefully. I mean, that's what we're hoping. That's what we're hoping is the case. We're hoping he is independent from the globalists. Time will tell. Time will only tell, right? So let's see. We have to keep questioning our leaders. Goku Gaines, how's it going? They are shipping people in just to let them be homeless on the street. Exactly. Like, what the fuck? They don't have the infrastructure. To be honest, Trump disavowed the KKK so many times. Yep. And also the white supremacist groups disavowed Trump for being too kind to Israel. The white supremacist groups disavowed Trump for being too kind to Israel. What about your Christian principles did you relate to Trump on? He is twice divorced, cheated on his partner. Why can't recite a Bible verse? I'm not gonna talk on that because I don't know. I don't really know. Like, I hear Trump every now and then, like, talk about God and, like, being a Christian, but I don't really know, like, how devout he is. Our homeless issue is big here, agree. No one thinks Trump is a perfect person, but his policies are best for the American people. Yep. The homeless situation is a moneymaker for the politicians, though. I wouldn't be surprised. That's why they keep people homeless. And that's why, that's why like I like Trump, is he doesn't want, Trump has pride, you know? Trump has a lot of pride. He has money, he has pride. And he doesn't want to live in a country that has homelessness. Like, that's not prideful, you know? Hold on a second. They like it. White nationalist groups overwhelmingly still supported Trump. Makes you think of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. What does? The homelessness? What policies? And Iran wanted Kamala to win. What's your point? I'm not here to flame, just understand. Gotcha. I'm here to flame. No, I'm just... I don't want to flame, but I might flame. I hope I don't, like, piss anyone off. Because, like, I have opinions, but I don't want to hate anyone. And I don't want to, like, you know... I just want to have... I enjoy debate. I enjoy debating. Oh, one sec. The chap, how's it going? The chap, welcome. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit late in the chat, a little bit, what's the word, delayed. Jesus' best friend was a prostitute. The point of Christianity is forgiving the penitent. I'm just kidding. Avalon Apple, how you doing? P-words overwhelmingly publicly supported Kamala. That's true. That's a good, like, that's not, you're not wrong. Ellie's not wrong. LOL, not to mention her running mate. Is he a pedo? I didn't even know that. What? I think both of them were bad choices. I'm in it for RFK. Yes, me too. RFK and Tulsi. I really like Tulsi. Someone on X was like, Tulsi Gabbard, no, like, tells me all I need to know, or something like that, and I'm like, how can you not like Tulsi Gabbard? Like, she's so based. What are you talking about? He's gonna kick out all the illegals, which will ease house and food costs for Americans, ban food dyes in our foods, which cause health problems only found in America. I really am excited about that part. Hopefully they weren't just, like, you know, saying, but I think RFK really cares about the health of America, so I'm excited to see what they do with that. End the wars in Europe and Middle East. Bring manufacturing jobs back to America. Globalists in historically is an anti-Semitic dog whistle. Google it. Anti-Semitic dog whistle. Please understand what I like incorrectly typed that. However, it can also serve as an anti-Semitic dog whistle. Interesting. Do you know about Waltz's history? Nice bait, move on. Wait. Oh, it's a bait. Oh, I don't know. See, I don't even know. Do you know what an international is? Do you know what the Comintern is? No, I don't know. But that's not for me. That wasn't a question for me. Wait, why are you mad? I think my values are hard to explain via text, but his personal life doesn't matter to me. Exactly. His personal life doesn't matter to me. I don't agree with anything sexist that he may think, but like I also don't think that he's gonna make America more sexist because he's in office, like, or maybe no, I don't think so, like like he's not gonna, like, I don't know, it's just like Kamala was not it. She was just not it. Could you imagine, like, her having to, like, talk to Vladimir Putin or something, or, like, meet with a world leader? Like, could you imagine? I don't know. It just, like... like, giggling, like, what would she do? Like, that's all she'll do is, like, laugh, and, like, what would she actually do meeting with other world leaders? Would she actually be useful? Like, I just don't see it. She would just, like, think that she can laugh her way around life. Like, I'm just gonna laugh my way to the top. I'm so funny, and I like things, and I laugh about things, and it's like... What? Like, do you have anything worth talking about, Kamala? Like, you're... Oh, I'm so glad we unburdened ourselves from her. I'm not even American, and I'm so glad, like, we're unburdened, okay? Even Canadians are unburdened. Thank goodness. Okay, where are we? Where are we? Hold on, I'm gonna play you guys a Kamala remix. Kamala remix. This is probably the last time I'm ever gonna listen to this.
You landed haymakers on Joe Biden.
It's a sick remix.
From being such a passionate opponent.
It was a debate.
Considered the most liberal United States senator.
Somebody said that, and it actually was Mike Pence on the debate stage.
Yeah. Well,
It's so good. And this was made 3 years ago. So this... People were already like, this one is a cat one.
Kamala with the laugh. That's so funny. She kept laughing. Is there something wrong with her too? The media said Joe Biden's president.
Anyway. Good times, good times, good times. Oh. Alright, hold on, let's see. I feel like I'm losing track of the comments. Hold on a second. Alright, so that was a thing. His personal life doesn't matter. I just know that you're Mexican American in California that can't voice his opinion. You know this is not a great response. No, that's actually a really good response. Oops. In my opinion, I think that's a good response. Trump wants to shrink the administrative state. That's why globalists hate him so much. America has 700,000 homeless people and 17 million empty houses. Trump ain't doing shit to get the government to buy them houses and house people. I can guarantee you that. So Trump wasn't in office for the last 4 years. So what has Biden and Kamala done with those 17 million empty houses in the last 4 years? Why are those 17 million houses empty if Kamala and Biden were in power for the last 4 years? Your comment isn't really making any sense. And why are there 700? Why have they left? You know, by the way, like they're still in power, right? Trump isn't your president. Like he only comes into power in January. Is that correct? Like, is that correct? So America currently under Biden and Harris has 700,000 homeless people and 17 million empty houses. And Trump ain't doing shit? And Trump is the one who isn't doing shit? Maybe you need to look at who's actually in power for the last 4 years. I'm all for banning food dyes, but I don't think Trump cares about what RFK does. Does he end wars in Europe? Oh, how does he end wars in Europe? I don't think people know how he's going to end wars in Europe, or if he's going to end wars in Europe, but the sentiment is there. The fact that he wants to end wars is enough, because there's no sentiment from the Democratic Party that they want to end wars. Their sentiment is, we are going to back Ukraine as long as it takes. That's at least Canada's sentiment, or at least, the Liberal Party of Canada, their sentiment, which whatever the Liberal Party of Canada is doing, in my opinion, is whatever the Democratic Party is doing in the States. So to me, they're one and the same, and they just want wars. And why would I vote for someone who clearly wants to continue war versus someone who wants to end war? Whether or not he's going to be able to or not, he says that he wants to, and that's good enough for me, because the other side doesn't say that he doesn't want to end war. I'm glad you want to ban the dyes. That literally benefits everyone in the USA and even for generations to come. Oops, shit. How many of those buildings are condemned or owned by Shikums? What is that? Yeah, there are tons of food additives that we should never allow. I'm with you on that. I just don't think Trump cares about that at all. I wouldn't say he doesn't care at all, but I will say, yeah, he probably needed RFK. I think having RFK join him, helped a lot. And, maybe Trump doesn't care so much about that, but having RFK there, a lot of people like that. And a lot of people, yeah, it's better than not having him there, it's better than having, the Democrats don't care about the health and our, the food stuff. The Democrats don't care about the food stuff. So once again, there's that little bit that we're getting, that little bit more that we're getting from the Republicans in terms of, wanting to end wars and wanting to make food healthier. You don't hear that from the Democrats. He said that he can't discuss how to end the war in Europe because it would allow him to lose leverage. Exactly, leverage is a huge, huge deal. You need leverage when it comes to stuff like this. Even if you don't believe that it honestly makes sense, I agree with you, J8. If you don't have leverage, no. You don't want to give away your tactics. I agree with that. It makes sense. Anything can be construed as anti-Semitic if you stretch it enough. You're right, so appoint someone else who does gain points. They aren't co-partner. They aren't what? They aren't. Many of those buildings are condemned. They aren't. I'm not sure which buildings you guys are talking about. Trump cares about it enough to pick someone who does. Exactly. That says a lot. Kamala refused to meet with RFK on the subject. Damn. Yeah, that's not a good look. Because he is going to pull funding for Ukraine, you have no idea whether they are or not, because there's no national database for that. For all you know, those 17 million buildings are old shacks with no running water that the administrative state has made illegal to live in. Who knows? Excuse me. The left is calling all Democrats white supremacists who voted for Trump. See, that's the thing. Like, this again. This is why Democrats. This is part of why Democrats are voting for Trump, because their own are attacking them. Their own are attacking them. Their own are calling them white supremacists. And they're like, alright, oh yeah, fuck you then. Because like, that's kind of the gist of it. Like, you have no idea. This is a message to the lefties out there. This is a message to the leftoids, okay? To the lefties. And I forgot what I was gonna say, but basically, like, you have no idea. Okay, you have no idea how many allies you turned to, like, red voters. Because so many people who, you know, they at least believed they were allies to, let's say, the LGBTQ community, like, or not even that, like, maybe allies to the black community, maybe allies to whatever community, okay, and whatever, all these communities, it's like one wrong move and you're a racist. One wrong move, one wrong slip of the tongue, and you're a transphobe. One wrong move and you're a bigot, you're this, you're that. And that's why a lot of people are realizing, like, why is there so much hate? And why am I being called these things that I know I'm not? And then people are realizing that's brainwashing, that's propaganda, you know? And it's like, oh, that's why they vote Trump, because they realize that, you know, people are being brainwashed to hate you, you know? And the word, and now, like, the word racist, the word transphobe, these words don't have the same meaning anymore, because you're not, like I said, I already said this, you're not like, it's like the boy who cried wolf, you know? Like, save those words for when someone is actually being racist, or for when someone is actually being transphobic, because people don't care anymore, because it's like everything you do, anything you say, and it's not like I've said so much that people say this to me, but I've had enough, like, I've made enough comments that where, you know, some people did call me things that I know I'm not, and it's like, shut up. Man, shut the fuck up. Even when they aren't white. See, even when they aren't white, that's the problem. It's like I'm not even, like, I'm not your enemy, and you fucking think everyone's against you, like, and that's why everyone is, like, so fed up with like, you know, ultra left people. We shouldn't be supporting foreign wars. I agree. That's literally what the Democrat Party stood on. Now they are the party of war. Yeah. DMs. Oh. DMs. Calling something a dog whistle is a form of bad faith mind reading. Bad faith mind reading. I guess I don't really know, like, much about, like, what a, like, dog whistle means. I only started, like, getting into politics recently because of shit that's going on. The answer isn't giving Ukraine to Russia to do so. Giving Ukraine to Russia, is that what's proposed? You're just assuming that you don't know Trump's plan, neither do I. Okay. Zach and Slay Vocals, how you doing? Hunniebee is a general, as a general rule, just ignore anyone who uses the term anti-Semitic. Oh, okay. If you say the wrong response, you can get banned. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. So, just ignore anyone who uses that term. Okay. Are you from Europe? No, you live in the Midwest. Then you're a perfect example why Kamala got smoked. Yeah, I agree. You care so much about funding wars and what's happening in Europe rather than focusing on problems with this country. So you live in the Midwest. I'm gonna assume that your community maybe hasn't been affected yet. And when I say community, I mean like where you live, like where you physically live. And I'm talking in terms of like immigration or illegal immigration. I personally live in a community where it has been affected, like where you notice there's a big difference and the community has been affected. And I feel like maybe the Midwest has not been affected as much as other areas, and that's why you think everything's hunky-dory. Speaking of which, Justin Trudeau looks like he's going to lose. Oh, for sure. Hopefully he doesn't steal it, so long as he doesn't fucking weasel his way into, I don't know, but I hear Pierre is also a globalist, so I'm supporting the People's Party of Canada, okay? Any Canadians in here? Are there any Canadians in the chat? If you don't know who the People's Party of Canada is, oops. I mean, they're so small, like they're super small, independent. You know, it's but like it'd be nice if they had more exposure. Okay, so what I wanted to say about
severe flooding
this.
in some areas. Samara Theodore is here with
Do you
the
guys
latest as
remember
things
this?
dry out a bit. Samara, good morning.
Good morning. So yesterday's powerful and moisture-laden storm capped off New York City's second wettest September on record as torrential rainfall left those in transit in danger since
drying out after a
let's
over the
see,
last
let's
20
see.
dry ground. A state of emergency possible. Him from the stranded
Holy
car in
shit. Okay, so for example, when you say fuck the patriarchy, right? Women can do anything men can do. I couldn't do this.
Rescuing him from the stranded car in the middle of a flooded
I couldn't do
street.
this.
One of at least 18
I couldn't rescue a guy like this. Maybe I could drag him in the water. I don't know.
State record with
And then
one line
other
that is
things.
downpour coming to a come out of the wall in a
Other
Patton's
things.
east side. And 1,000 rain in just a forming waves as
Basically- Basically, when New York flooded and when other disasters disasters like this happen, who's there to like fix everything? Generally it's men. You know, pumping water, doing this whatever. And I don't mean like vigilantes. I mean like people that are working for the city who are, you know, trying to fix things and whatever. Like it's usually men, like, you know, your average working guy. And then people want to say fuck man. Oh my god, fuck man. Like this lady who shaved her head because Trump won, and oh my god, fuck being hot and fuck this and fuck that, and excuse my language, but it's just like, and then you just gotta laugh because like in some cases, sure, fuck men, sure, in some cases, but not in every case. Like, it's like, I feel like I want to look for some examples, but when stuff like this happens, and like you see people like working, 9 times out of 10, it's the men who are like physically out there having to, as a woman, do you want to go and like be in the water and have to do the jobs that these men are doing, like that. I'm not saying that there aren't women doing the jobs, but like I said, majority it's men, and I'm fucking grateful for that. Okay, I'm grateful, and I don't understand why there has to be this whole like men versus women thing. I don't see why we can't just work together. Women have their strengths, men have their strengths, and I don't see why people gotta lose it. You know, why you gotta lose it? Is this another one?
So I find it really quite ironic that Labour
Workers doing their thing, trying to like, you know. Are there any? Okay, here we have people helping with a car. Then here, okay, speaking of which, Justin Trudeau looks like he's gonna lose. Yes, assuming that Kamala would just laugh is just straight out of the misogyny book, assuming that women can only ever be hysterical. Oh, come on. Just because I think Kamala's hysterical doesn't mean I think every woman is hysterical. And once again, that is why blue voters turn red. Because you're calling them hysterical, or you're assuming that they are calling every woman hysterical because they believe Kamala's not fit for the job. And obviously, I don't think she's gonna laugh her way to the top, but she would do a whole lot of it. She would do a whole lot of laughing, you know, during interviews and talking to people. I don't doubt that for a second, but it's not because she's a woman. It's because that's how she is. There's, you know, there's something about there's you know, people used to judge people based on their character and not based on their gender and their looks. Zach Chap. Not all personal criticism of particular women is misogynistic, just like not all personal criticism of particular men is misandrist. Might you be a tad oversensitive to patterns that might not actually mean anything? Probably. Just saying that poisoning the well and harassing baiting with bad faith discussions will result in a ban going forward. Be good children. Let's be good. Hi, Woodfast! Hello! Sorry, I'm so delayed in the chat, guys. I'm so sorry. Sending munitions to a democracy to preserve it from communism isn't a waste of money. Sending munitions to a democracy to preserve it from communism isn't a waste of money. It is when you purposely prodded, I guess, like what was it? Here's what happened. Ukraine is still technically not a part of NATO. Am I correct? They're still technically not a part of NATO, or they definitely were not a part of NATO, and I still think they're not. And so what happened was Putin said, and he's an evil guy for saying this, okay? He's an evil guy for saying this, but he did say, he said, don't send NATO to Ukraine or I'm gonna attack Ukraine. So what did the US do? They sent NATO to Ukraine because they wanted, allegedly, Russia to attack. So you're gonna purposely start this war because you know, okay, yes, you could say that Putin started it, but you brought NATO to where he said he was gonna attack. You did that because you knew that was gonna start a war. So and now sending munitions to a democracy to preserve it from communism isn't a waste of money, but it is when you fucking like doing it on purpose. Like you're doing it on purpose. It's on purpose. It's not like, oh no, there's a war, we gotta send our money. It's, hey, here's an opportunity to start a war and somehow send all our money and somehow that's gonna make them money. I don't know how that works, but it's stupid. So yeah, not okay with that. Hi, Bluefast. How is that the Democrats went from the party of anti-war to begging for funding wars with Russia and Palestine, and their governors signing bombs? Yeah, that was fucking weird. signing bombs with Zelensky that will be used to kill innocent people. That was signing bombs. Like that was like not cool. Very not cool. Very, very bad look. A very bad look. And there are ways to do both. There are ways to do both. I don't know. Okay, bigot. Well, there we go. Another again. You're making the word bigot not mean anything because you're using it when someone is actually not being a bigot. Like you need to save these words for when someone is actually being the thing, so that it actually has impact. Because all these words that the left use against centrists and people on the right, it doesn't. They literally say it all you want. Because it doesn't mean shit anymore. Because you guys ruined it. Because it's you guys cry wolf. And when you cry wolf, people don't listen to you anymore. I hope you learn about who actually owns them. 17 million empty houses. Probably Chinese. Probably China owns them. Who owns them, chap? Tell us. I'd love to know. Across America, because capitalism ain't ending homelessness. The only country without homeless children is Cuba. All other liberal states fail on this basic task. And once again, we're still under Biden-Harris administration, chap, just so you know. Sorry, I'd rather avoid another Holodomor buddy. Beast. Hi, Woodbass. Hearts, 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 hearts. The liberal economy that is capitalism won't end. Listen, capitalism is not a bad thing because there's nothing wrong with like starting a business and you know, and it becomes a good well-established business, and like you fucking earned that. There's nothing wrong with earning that. Like you've earned, you build up, you know, you work. If somebody works harder than another person, that person should earn more. Okay? It's not like everyone gets the same, but some people work harder than others. That's not fair. Voting is the least political thing you can do. Sure. So I'm guessing you didn't vote, chap. I'm guessing you didn't vote. We will not be calling people names. This is your only warning. Zachap. Yeah. So are you in favor of Russia taking Ukraine? I don't think anyone's in favor of that. Nobody's in favor of that. I think most people are in favor of no wars at all. But Democrats are in favor of war, so I think that's who you need to be asking. I'm in favor of ending the war by whatever means. I don't care about Ukraine. Russia and Ukraine mean nothing to me. Wolf's Rain! Wolf's Rain, thank you so much for the follow! Sorry guys, I'm trying to keep my voice a little down because my parents are trying to sleep. So, yes. Try not to keep them awake. But anyway, look, okay, so we have another example of, you know, people being helped, somebody's being helped, someone's helping the car. Again, I see mostly